guys exactly what happened, exactly how everything went down. So for those of you guys who don't know, I have always wanted to visit Paris. It's been on my vision board for years, and it's a place I've just dreamed of going. So my now fiance took me on a trip to Paris, and on the trip he had asked that I bring a ballroom gown because we're gonna go ballroom dancing. So the night of the proposal, I was under the assumption that we were going ballroom dancing. Check this one out. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look. It's a ballroom. We're gonna go to like a ballroom dinner, which is really nice. That's why we're dressed up. We get to the park and we're supposed to be meeting someone at the park that takes us to the location of the ballroom dancing. And once we got there, we didn't see anyone. So he makes a call and he asks, where are we supposed to meet? And the person on the phone tells him to look for a balloon and that there's a woman by the balloon that's gonna give us directions. So finally we find it, and it's like this huge hot air balloon. And Josh is like, I don't think this is the right thing. But then he says, well, let's go ahead and see. Maybe this is going to take us to the location. So as we're getting onto the hot air balloon, we see someone and we ask him to take our picture. He takes a picture of us, and then they assure us that there's going to be a photographer so we don't have to worry about pictures. So we get on the hot air balloon and it's just us and another woman. And so it's kind of weird, like, okay, where's everybody else? But you know, I was under the assumption that we booked the wrong activity.
I'm not scared to leave my heart is because I don't know what's gonna happen. I'd like to know what's gonna happen.
Guys, so I don't know how, but we ended up in a hot air balloon. Like, we have no idea what's going on. As the balloon's going up in the sky, Josh starts getting super nervous, and he's not the type to get nervous about things, about heights and things like that. So I started panicking. He's like, I don't know what's going on. I think I booked the wrong thing. You know, online when you book activities, there's so many, and maybe I purchased the wrong activity. And I'm like, you know what? This is dope. Let's just enjoy this. This is so dope. So as all this is happening, the balloon's just ascending in the sky, overlooking Paris. It's so beautiful. The photographer was taking so many pictures, mostly of us, and it got to the point where I turned to Josh and said, you know, I think this photographer is kind of obsessed with us because he's taking so many pictures. So then, out of nowhere, the woman that was on the balloon with us walks towards me, and she comes up to me and she tells me that she's an angel and asks me to pick from one of the 4 cards she has in her hands. And I'm like, oh, no thank you. I mean, you guys know I do not play with spiritual stuff, so I said no thank you. But then Josh was like, just go ahead and try it, you know? And I'm looking at him because usually he's the one that's like, no, don't do that. So I'm like, oh. She asked me to pick a card, and I just blindly picked one. She then blindfolded me, and then she read what was on the card into my ear. And honestly, she did have the most angelic voice. She was so beautiful. And it was a super, super sweet poem. But I still didn't understand what was going on. Like, the poem had absolutely nothing to do with anything in my eyes until the very end. It wasn't until the very end when she said, will you marry me? Takes off the blindfold, and Josh is on his knee with the ring in his hand. I was so shocked that I didn't even answer the question. I didn't even answer. I was so shocked. And he's like, so, and I'm like, yes, of course. You guys, I was elated. I was beside myself. I couldn't even speak. And come to find out, Josh is the one who hired the personal photographer for this whole thing to happen. And once we got back down, everyone starts clapping at the park. It was so beautiful. And the photographer took him and I over to the Louvre, where we did a full-blown photo shoot on site, and I was just beside myself. I mean, most of the pictures I'm just like in shock because I couldn't believe all of this was happening. The entire experience was magical. It was the best day of my entire life. It's something I could have never even dreamed about, and all of the glory goes to God. God is just so faithful. He is so faithful, and he sent me this incredible man who wants to do nothing more than make me happy, and is every woman's dream. And this ring, y'all, oh my goodness, this ring is just breathtaking. I'm so elated. To say this was a dream come true is really an understatement. This is something that I could have never imagined, and I'm so thankful, I'm so blessed, and I'm so grateful.